Happy New Year and welcome to a brand new chapter. Before we begin today's training, I want to sincerely say thank you. Thank you to our old subscriber. We have been with us throughout the years. Thank you to our new subscriber and our channel members who recently joined this community. And a very special thank you to our Glinified students worldwide for believing in us and of course learning with us and growing with us over the years. We truly appreciate your trust and commitment to skills, knowledge and growth. We also thank you too for giving us the privilege to reach people across the world and share manufacturing education with millions. This year, we are not guessing, we are building correctly. Now, let's begin. Let me tell you a truth nobody tells beginners. Most people did not fail, or rather, most people don't fail in paint manufacturing because they lack money. Yes, they fail because they were guessing. Guessing chemicals, guessing formula, guessing processes. You see, people believe money is the problem, but money does not fix confusion. I have seen people with machines still fail and people starting from home succeed. Money plus guessing equals loss. Understanding plus system equals to growth. You see, the biggest mistake beginners make is copying formulation without understanding. They copy from YouTube, they copy from WhatsApp group, they copy without knowing why a chemical is there in a particular production process. Paint is not cooking, it is a system. If you don't understand the system, every formula will fail. Also, most people start with product instead of structure. They ask, which paint should I produce? Instead of asking the right question, how does paint work in a given system? Because when you understand paint manufacturing, you stop panicking. You know what to change, you know what to fix, which leads you to stop wasting money. A lot of people are wasting money in paint manufacturing business, be it in the advanced paint manufacturers or professional paint manufacturers. A lot of them don't even know how to calculate the profit, their income. They are wasting money because they did not get the right structure system in starting paint manufacturing business. They see it as paint manufacturing business is a skill. Yes, paint manufacturing business is a skill, but what about the business side? And you see, the skill cannot survive without the business side. So when you're learning the skills, you're also learning the business side. They go hand to hand. And that is why so many people are out there claiming to be paint manufacturer, not knowing they are just producers. They are not yet into the paint manufacturing business. That is why you can see someone that started the paint manufacturing business as a newbie in 3 months, succeeding more than someone that has been into the paint manufacturing business for over 8 years. Now ask yourself, what is the difference? Simple. Structure and confusion. You understand? So when you get this right, you'll be able to not just build your paint manufacturing business, but you will also build the system, the structure, and you will know what you need to do at every given time in your paint manufacturing business. You leave the confusion state and then you move over to the manufacturer state. That is why foundation matters. Before many formula, before fancy paint, you must think like a manufacturer. You must start from the foundation process. You cannot just have a formula and then you start teaching paint manufacturing business. Did you start from the foundation? Did you do you know what it takes to be a manufacturer? Are you into the business side of paint manufacturing? Not just the skill. So foundation matters even for building. You have to start from the foundation process. That is how business is. So starting from the foundation gives you the right knowledge on how to go about making money in paint manufacturing business. And of course, delivering the best paint to your customers. Without the knowledge, without the foundation, you are wasting your money and you are wasting your time. And then you see your competitors excelling and then you wonder, what is it that I'm doing? I have the formula. I know how to produce. I've been in this business for 7 years. What am I doing? Because you don't know, or rather you did not start from the foundation. I'm not talking about water. I'm not talking about titanium dioxide. I'm not talking about getting a paint name. I'm not talking about knowing what it takes to produce emulsion and gloss paint. No, I'm talking about structure. And like I said, I see a lot of paint manufacturers out there, they don't have structure. That is why they keep turning, going around circle. You see them, they've been in this business for 14 years, for 10 years. They tell you, I've been in paint manufacturing business for 9 years. And then you ask yourself, how much have you made for this business? What is your structure? What is this business like? And they tell you, oh, years ago, we're making money in paint manufacturing business. And then you ask yourself, what is the difference from an ordinary paint manufacturer that produce paint, sell it in a shop or supply to other people to use, than a successful, lucrative paint manufacturing business that have gone through the system over the years and have made millions of cash and are still in this business? I've been in this business for so many years. I've been a coach for so many years. My student can testify. I've taught thousands of students across the world. So many of them started from their home. So many of them started with zero knowledge. And they can testify. And they are paint manufacturers. Also, so many of them fall along the line because failure to keep contact with their coach. I have been learning over these years. If I've not been learning, I don't think I'll be able to teach the newcomers in paint manufacturing business. And I said, what you learned 10 years ago is not what they're teaching now. What you learned 4 years ago in paint manufacturing is not what they're teaching now. You can see it from yourself, even when it comes to technology. To be in this business, you have to follow the structure. You have to know what you need to do at every given time. You just don't need to jump, or rather you just get random formula, or you start producing emulsion paint, or because you have the formulation of how to produce these paints. There are times that you're going to encounter troubles, big troubles, and then you start looking for someone to direct you. So you have to start from the foundation the right way. That is if you are looking into becoming a paint manufacturer, not just I know how to produce paint. They are two different things. So if you're tired of guessing, if you want to start correctly, then start with a 0 to manufacturer. It is where confusion ends and manufacturing begins. Paint manufacturing is not about mixing. It's about understanding. And that is why you watching this video, if you're already an existing paint manufacturer, you get confused because you don't understand the structure, but you know how to mix. like I said, I've trained 1,000 of students over a decade, and I've come to understand, based on my student complaints, feedback, researching what they want to achieve in their own paint manufacturing business, how they are undergoing situation in their country and in the business. And I've come to realize that when you want to become a successful paint manufacturer, you have to follow a structure. And I've also followed this structure over the years. I've gotten comments from my students and say, Coach Gleaner, you've been there over the years. And I look at them and I smile. And I tell the ones I want to hear, it's a system, it's a structure. When you love what you're doing, when you follow the structure, I don't see you falling off the business. It is only when you don't understand that you are in a business and you think that this is a skill, that is when, or rather, you don't even know what you're doing. That is why I'm starting all over from the foundation, because I want to teach those that are willing to learn paint manufacturing business from the foundation. And if you're my student, you're watching, of course, it's a privilege for you to also have the zero to manufacturing course for free. That is why you are in the community. So if you want to get the knowledge again, you just reach out to me, and of course you can access this course for free. I'm talking to my previous Gleanified students. I don't want you getting confused. I don't want you not knowing what to do at every given time when it comes to your business. You have to be focused. You are a great manufacturer. You know how to produce paint. You've been in this system over the years. What are you lacking? That is what you need to build. You need to look into your business. You need to look into your structure. That is, if you have a structure, because so many people do not have a structure. How do great companies start? They start because they have a structure. When you have a structure, you know where you're going to, you know what you're doing, and you know you're in a business. But if you're just a paint manufacturer, or rather a paint producer, you can fall off business and fall back into business. And you can operate a year, and then the next 3 years, you're not producing. You only get jobs when the jobs come to you. You don't get job frequently because you are not built upon a structure. You understand? So, thank you for tuning in today. Until we meet again, bye for now.